Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel on Advanced Excel. Today we'll see how we can use index and match inside SUMIF or a SUMIF for that. And this is my database. There are two datas. One is a sales table which is based on a book ID and the number of units sold. And another data is about book ID and book title. And using these two databases, we want to create a book units report. Now this book units report is based on book title. Okay, it's not based on book ID. So we'll follow two steps. In first step, we'll use index and match to find out the book ID for this particular book title, and we'll plug in that result of index and match inside SUMIF. But before we can do that, I have done a very quick thing. I have given names to this ranges because we'll be selecting those ranges very frequently. So here are the names. This book title which is under this lookup table, I have given it a name book title. Then this is book ID, and these two ranges have been named separately. One is book ID sales and unit sold. So these are the four names I have created, and if you want to know see or do anything with these names, we can press control F3, and there you can edit those names or change their label or change the ranges and do all that thing, or even delete those names. So with this, let's begin with this particular challenge. Now first we'll see how we can put index and match inside SUMIF. So I'm starting with index and match. So now we are trying to find out the book ID for this particular book title. Okay, so index, my array is now in whenever you are writing a formula, and suppose in case you don't remember the names, then the shortcut key is you can press Ctrl G and shift tab 3 times. And yeah, here are the list of names that we have given to all those names. So now my this array for the purpose of index is book ID, comma. Then for row number I'll use match. Lookup value is my book title. My lookup array is book title. Then my match type is 0. And because in index we have selected only one column, my column number will be 1. So comma 1. I am completing parenthesis, control enter. So we are having a book ID for this particular book title, which is data analysis. Now we'll plug this result into SUMIF. So I am pressing F2 here. Come to the beginning of this function, SUMIF. You can use SUMIF. SUMIF does not make any difference. So SUMIF. Now my range, that is my criteria range, is book ID sales. So you can again, as I said, you can press Ctrl G and 3 times shift tab 1, 2, 3 and book ID sales, enter, comma. The moment you give comma, that name or that range gets activated. So my criteria is fetched by this index and match. And lastly, my sum range is unit sold, complete parenthesis and control enter. So this is the quantity of data analysis, and here it is. I have just highlighted this one record. So if you are getting it right for one record, you have to get it right for all. So now simply select this range and Control D. So this is the first way of getting this book units report, and here we have used index and match inside SUMIF. Now coming to second way, we can use VLOOKUP and choose inside SUMIF. And I have this video on VLOOKUP and choose, and there I have shown. Now in this case, this book title, our book units report is based on book title, and this book title is basically my lookup column, but this lookup column is located to the right of my result column. So in an ordinary situation, VLOOKUP cannot do things on its own. So we'll be using VLOOKUP along with choose, and then we'll determine the book ID, and again the same thing, we'll plug that result into SUMIF. So is equal to VLOOKUP time, lookup value is my book title, comma, my table array. Now table array will be taken care by choose. So choose, choose or ask for index number, in this curly brackets 1 comma 2. So these are the column numbers, right? Now this first column, which consists of my list of my book title, I am saying I am going to give this range. So my range is book title, and my column number 2, that is result column, it is my book ID. Book ID. I am completing parenthesis for choose. Then it's bringing me back to VLOOKUP. So my column index number is 2. So now when this lookup will look for this data analysis book title, or when this lookup will look for this lookup value, it will look for this value inside the table array which is created by choose. So my column index number is 2 because my column index number 1 stands for that book title column, that is this column. Okay, so comma 2 comma 0, control enter. So we have book ID now, and now simply prefix this with SUMIF. SUMIF. My range is, again you can press Ctrl G and Shift tab 3 times. Book ID sales, that is my name, book ID sales. Enter, give comma. Then the criteria is fetched by this VLOOKUP and choose, and we'll come to this end of this entire structure function, and this range for this unit sold is, name for this unit sold is unit sold itself. We'll complete parenthesis, control enter. And again we know that choose can take care of array functions or array operations. Control V, here it is. So you can use VLOOKUP and choose inside SUMIF, and here choose basically assist VLOOKUP in a way that it changes this particular database internally, or this to fetch that table array for that table array condition inside VLOOKUP. So this becomes my column number 1, this becomes my column number 2, this is my lookup column, this is my result column, and then entire thing works exactly the VLOOKUP wanted to work. Okay, so this is the second way. Third way is we can use index and match inside SUMPRODUCT. So again we'll start with index. My array is book ID. Book ID. I'll just move this dialog box on the top, comma, for row number we'll use match. Now this stretch is remaining the same every time. Okay, so match, this is my lookup value. My lookup array is book title and exact match, and column index number is 1, and control enter. So this is my book ID, and now we'll place it inside SUMIF, or let me just escape it, and we'll ask a logical question: how many of these book IDs are equal to this result which is fetched by index? So the name for this is book ID sales. So book ID sales, and I'll press is equal to, and Control Shift Enter. Right now I am pressing Control Shift Enter because it's an array operation. Control Shift Enter, it is giving me false because it is comparing all those 18 values with this single record. So I am okay with this. Now simply I'll prefix double negative, give bracket at the beginning, and we'll close the bracket at the end, and Control Shift Enter. It's giving me 0. That's what we want. SUMPRODUCT always wants it to be in ones and zeros. The trues and false never works in SUMPRODUCT. So escape. I'll press F2 again, and we'll simply prefix SUMPRODUCT. The array 1 is this index and match thing, and my array 2 is unit sold. I'll complete parenthesis and control enter. Oh, I think there is something wrong. Let's do it once again. Is equal to, I say index, my array, is book ID. Okay, for row I am using match. My lookup value is this, comma. Then my lookup array is, again I can press Ctrl G, 1 2 3. It is this book title, enter, match type is 0, and comma 1. control enter. So we have this book ID, and now I'll say how many of these book IDs are equal to the book ID which is fetched by index. So book ID sales and is equal to, and rest things remain as it is, so it has to give me false. So if I press F9, it is giving me all this bunch of false, trues and false. Escape. Okay, so I have prefixed double negative at the beginning, then and given parenthesis at the beginning, and we have closed parenthesis in the end, and enter. It is giving me 0. Now if I press F9, okay, things are looking okay. So again F2, and lastly sum product tab, and in the end my second array is units sold. I think this time it should be correct. Need not worry. Enter. Here it is 88, and we can simply copy paste. Okay, because sum product can take care of arrays, but when we were doing this, building this index and match, and when we were comparing it with this book ID sales, I was pressing Ctrl Shift Enter because it was an array operation. So this is done, and lastly index and match inside sum. Now even this is going to be a little tricky. So is equal to, I'll start with index again. My array is book ID tab, then for row number I'll use match tab. My lookup value is this. My lookup array is book title. I want exact match, and column index number 1 for index and match, and control enter. Okay, so we have book ID here, and again the same thing. We'll compare this book ID sales with this. So book ID sales is equal to, and the result of index and match, and Control Shift Enter. It is giving me false. It's okay. If I press F9, yes, trues and false. That's what we exactly want. And now again same thing we'll do. Double negative, open parenthesis and close parenthesis, and Control Shift Enter. So it's giving me 0 now. And lastly we'll prefix sum, only sum now, and because we are using sum, we'll have to press Control Shift and Enter, because sum cannot handle array. So to assist sum handle array, we'll press Control Shift and Enter. So sum tab, and I'll multiply this by my unit sold column. So unit sold tab, complete parenthesis, and now I'm pressing Control Shift and Enter. As I said, sum cannot handle array operations. Control Shift Enter, 88, and now simply copy it to all the cells, and here it is. So friends, this is how you can use index and match inside SUMIF, and besides that I have shown you 3 other ways, that is VLOOKUP and choose in SUMIF, then index and match inside the sum product, and index and match inside sum. So using any of these methods, you can have this book units report based on the book title. But as I said, that lookup array was not in the way we wanted. So when we use that VLOOKUP and choose, we have used choose to assist VLOOKUP. So friends, this brings me to the end of this video. I am giving a link of this Excel file for you to download and practice upon. And in this sheet 1, I am giving this text of those formulas. So if you get stuck, you can just refer to these formulas and build your own. So thanks for watching all my videos and giving all those likes. Now if you like what I do give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon for my future videos. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye bye.